found long hairs in our bathroom, and my boyfriend refuses to address it. I, 24F, and my boyfriend, 26M, have been together for 4 years and living together for 1.5 years now. For the first year, we lived with another friend, but now it's just the two of us. We had some big fights in the beginning of our relationship, the first year, but we worked through them, and now we have a great relationship overall. However, since we moved into our current apartment, I keep finding long black hairs in the bathroom. They're about 65 centimeters long and straight. I should mention that my hair is red, and his hair is short, barely 15 cm, so it can't be his. The first time I found one, I called him while he was with his sister and told him, "We need to talk when you get home, and you better hurry." I was really nervous. When he got back, he yelled at me for embarrassing him in front of his sister. He denied everything and didn't want to discuss it further, asking how I could even think that about him. At the time, I tried to justify it by thinking it might have been left behind by a friend who had visited us 2 weeks earlier, or maybe I hadn't cleaned properly. Since then, though, I've found more hairs always when I come home after working at the office. I mostly work from home, but I go in occasionally. The second time, he told me I was being crazy and ignored me for the rest of the night while I was very upset. The third time, I taped the hair to a piece of paper and left it for him to see when he got home. He yelled at me again, saying he was tired of my insecurity and reminding me he's home most of the time. He ignored me for the rest of that night too, and I eventually just moved on. Yesterday, I went to a party with work colleagues. When I got back and went to the bathroom, I found another black hair. I called him to come and look, and he responded angrily, saying, "Really, again?" He seemed very irritated. I ignored him, and he ignored me too. This morning, he tried to talk to me and asked why I wasn't speaking to him, but I didn't respond. He left to go to the doctor and then to the office. I've even tried looking at his phone, but I've never found anything suspicious. He's always on his phone, either listening to podcasts or scrolling through reels, but I haven't seen anything alarming. Most of the time, we're together, and I do feel pretty loved in this relationship. But these hairs are driving me insane, especially because he refuses to address the issue or take my concerns seriously. Any advice? TLDR. I keep finding long black hairs in the bathroom, which can't belong to me or my boyfriend. He denies everything, refuses to discuss it, and gets angry when I bring it up. I found no evidence of cheating, but this issue is really bothering me. What should I do? Relevant comments. OP on cleaning the house and seeing if more hairs showed up. OP, 2 times a week I vacuum and clean because my bathroom is beige and every hair can be seen. So I am suspicious. Any chances OP had visitors to her place who might match the hairs? OP, I haven't had any visitors for a while. The only way it would be for them, the hairs, to get on my clothes when I go to my sister's, but it's happened too many times for that to be the case. I say, she has similar hair as the one I found, but I don't visit her so often. Has OP visited someone else which their hairs could have got on OP's clothes when she came home, and were the hairs found on different places? OP, no, never new sheets. I have white sheets and I never found a hair there. Only in the bathroom. My sister has black long hair, similar to the one I found in one of our friends, but they don't visit us. Yes, I visit my sister once a week. This can be a possibility. Yes, my sister has similar hair and I visit her maybe once a week or 2 weeks. Update 1. First off, I didn't expect so many people to reach out on my first Reddit post. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts. It really means a lot to me. Last night, when my boyfriend got home, we had a much-needed conversation. I approached him calmly and said something like, "Hey, I feel like your lack of acknowledgement around this situation is making me lose trust, and I think it's important we talk about it." I didn't accuse him of cheating, but I shared my feelings about the hairs I've been finding and explained how they've been making me feel. At first, he seemed to listen, but then he turned the conversation around, accusing me of cheating because I'm bisexual. He said, "Why wouldn't it be you cheating?" Things escalated quickly, and he expressed frustration, saying I embarrass him when I call him while he's out because of my insecurities. To add some context, I found out recently that one of his ex-girlfriends is no longer engaged. This is someone we've had issues with in the past. Years ago, he flirted with her at a birthday party I organized for him, which led to us breaking up temporarily. Before we moved in together, he used to hang out with her without telling me, and I know he occasionally messages her, though he hides it. Her hair is dark red, so it's not hers that I'm finding, but their history still makes me uneasy. Our conversation last night shifted away from the current issue to larger arguments about our relationship. He brought up his accident and said I haven't supported him enough, which was particularly hurtful because, during that time, I poured everything into taking care of him. I handled all the logistics getting him to the hospital, talking to doctors, sorting out insurance, and even ensuring he ate and took his medication when he needed to. I neglected my own health in the process, fainting from exhaustion after going 30 hours without food. Despite all this, we did reach a point of agreement about installing a camera at home. He was surprisingly chill about it, and we both see it as a solution not just for the current issue, but also for the dog we're planning to get soon. This update might not be the dramatic cheating story some were expecting. It's not that it's deeper communication issues. We ended the night on okay terms, even sleeping in the same bed, though I did end up crying alone in the living room for 2 hours. I'm confused and have mixed feelings. From the outside, I know our relationship might look unhealthy, and maybe it is, but relationships are complex. I don't expect things to always be sunshine and rainbows. There are hard periods in every relationship where people either grow together or apart. I'm not looking to make impulsive decisions right now. Aside from the fights and communication struggles, we do have a happy relationship in many ways. He's been part of my life for 4 years, and I don't take that lightly. To those who suggested I might be sabotaging the relationship due to my anxiety or depression, that's something I'm reflecting on. I appreciate the honesty, even if it's hard to hear. As for those who think I'm the problem or that I'm controlling our relationship allows for plenty of trust and independence. He spends time with his friends, follows and likes posts on Instagram, and has female friends, all without issue from me. I don't go through his phone or invade his privacy. If I ever have questions or want to see something, he's open and shows me voluntarily. Thank you again for your support and advice. You've given me a lot to think about, and I'm grateful for this community. TLDR. We had a serious conversation about my concerns, and while we agreed on installing a camera as a solution, the discussion escalated into deeper issues about trust and communication. No cheating was involved, but unresolved past problems and misunderstandings came up. Despite the tension, we're okay for now, and I'm reflecting on my own role in the relationship while trying to navigate these challenges calmly. Thank you for all the advice and support. It's given me a lot to think about. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Opie also mentions in the first post she finds them on days she has been in the office. Does Opie work with anyone or sit near someone with long dark hair? Opie. No, but I visit my sister once a week, and as someone mentioned, she just gave birth and shedding a lot. Most of the time if go to the office, I stop at her house before I go home. That's the logical justification I found for the hair, because she has the exact same type of hair. I will analyze it when I get to her house, but most probably is that. Commenter 2. Opie, did you address the point made in comments to your first post that the hairs could have been from your sister and brought in by you given you visit her frequently? I know a lot of people are jumping to conclusions about your boyfriend's defensiveness, but I can understand someone getting defensive if they're repeatedly accused of something that has nothing to do with them. Opie. So that is the reason I did things this way. There are 2 options. He is guilty or he is not. If he is guilty, I will find out sooner or later with my methods and my friends. If he is not, well, probably for an innocent person that would be very frustration. And how can you prove you are not cheating? You can't. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt until further suspicious and evidence, and I tried to talk the trust issue we have. Commenter 3. Next time, maybe find out if it's your sister's hair before coming to the internet to tell your business to strangers. Opie. Wasn't the point of this forum to ask for advice? Sorry, but I explained a lot of things here, and yes, there can be a possibility that this is not her hair. But the only reason I tried to talk on this forum was because I want to read some opinions of people not emotionally involved in this that can see without the lens of emotions that I have one, and maybe give me some advice on things I don't see. Is it wrong? Update 2. The hairs are back. After the last update, we installed the camera, and I actually felt pretty good about it. It wasn't just about the hairs, it felt like we were taking a step toward rebuilding trust. I thought maybe, just maybe, we'd find a way to laugh about this whole situation someday. Oh, how naive I was. The first few days with the camera were uneventful. No mysterious intruders. No black-haired ghosts wandering the bathroom. It was quiet. Too quiet. Then yesterday, after another day at the office, I came home to you guessed it a single, long black hair on the bathroom sink. The audacity of this hair. It was practically mocking me. I immediately checked the camera footage, heart racing like I was on the verge of uncovering some grand conspiracy. And I did find something, but not what I was expecting. The footage showed my boyfriend going into the bathroom around 3 p.m. and pulling something out of his pocket. I zoomed in, squinting like my life depended on it. It was a bundle of long, black hair. I watched, horrified, as he carefully placed a single strand on the sink before walking out like he'd just planted evidence at a crime scene. My brain short-circuited. What in the fresh hell was I looking at? Why was he doing this? Was he gaslighting me into thinking I was losing my mind? Was this some elaborate prank to get back at me for doubting him? I felt like I was trapped in a bad soap opera, and I was the clueless protagonist. When he got home, I didn't even give him a chance to settle in. I marched up to him, phone in hand, and said, "What the actual F asterisk 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 is this?" and shoved the footage in his face. He froze. Then he started laughing, a weird, nervous laugh that didn't suit the situation at all. Okay, I can explain," he said, hands up like he was surrendering. His explanation? He thought it was funny. He claimed he started doing it after the second or third time I brought it up, just to see how far I'd take the whole hairs in the bathroom thing. He said he'd been collecting the hairs from my sister's couch whenever he visited with me, and he thought I'd eventually figure it out and laugh. Apparently, he didn't expect me to install a camera and go full detective mode. I didn't laugh. I lost it. I asked him why he didn't just talk to me if he thought I was being unreasonable. Why go through this absurd charade instead of having an actual conversation? He didn't have a good answer. He just kept saying he didn't think it would go this far. The argument spiraled from there. I brought up how dismissive he'd been when I first raised my concerns and how he'd turned it around on me, accusing me of cheating and being insecure. He accused me of overreacting and said it was all harmless fun. At some point, I realized I wasn't even angry about the hairs anymore. I was angry about the pattern. Every time I've brought up an issue in this relationship, whether it's about his ex, his defensiveness, or now this stupid prank, it's turned into my fault. I'm too sensitive, too controlling, or overthinking everything. I don't know if I can do this anymore. For years is a long time, and I love him. But this whole situation feels like the tip of an iceberg I've been ignoring. Maybe the hairs weren't a sign he was cheating, but they've revealed something else. The cracks in our communication, the way he handles conflict, the way he doesn't take me seriously. I packed a bag and told him I needed some space. He looked stunned, like he genuinely didn't think his joke would lead to this. He tried to stop me, but I told him I wasn't breaking up with him yet. I just needed time to think. I'm staying at my sister's for now, which is ironic considering her hair was apparently the star of this drama. The camera is still up, though. Part of me wonders if I'll find another hair while I'm gone. If I do, well, I guess I'll know he's just messing with himself at this point. TLDR. The hairs were planted by my boyfriend as part of an unhinged prank to mess with me. This has brought up deeper issues in our relationship, and I'm currently staying with my sister to figure out what to do next. Update 3. Hey, everyone. Buckle in, because this is going to be the last chapter in the saga of the long black hairs, my boyfriend, and me. If you've been following along, you know things were already teetering on the edge of absurdity. Well, the edge has officially given way, and I'm free falling into a whole new life. After staying with my sister for a few days, I decided to take the time to really reflect on everything. I went through our entire relationship in my head, trying to figure out if I was overreacting, or if this hair prank was just one symptom of something much bigger. And honestly, the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. It wasn't just about the hairs. It was about how he made me feel crazy for suspecting something, how he dismissed my concerns, how he turned the tables on me and accused me of cheating when all I wanted was reassurance. It was about the gaslighting, the defensiveness, and the lack of respect. The hairs were a symptom, but the disease was a complete breakdown of trust and communication. And then, the camera struck again. While I was at my sister's, I got a notification on my phone. The camera at home had picked up motion in the bathroom. My heart stopped. I knew my boyfriend was at work, and I wasn't expecting anyone to be there. I opened the app, half expecting to see something mundane like a bug flying by. What I saw instead was the ex-girlfriend. You know, the one I mentioned earlier, the one he used to secretly hang out with, the one who recently broke off her engagement. She was in my bathroom, fixing her hair in the mirror like she lived there. Long black hair spilled over her shoulders, and I swear to God, it felt like the universe was smacking me in the face with the answer I hadn't wanted to admit to myself. She wasn't just there. She was comfortable. She walked out of the bathroom like she owned the place, and I watched her on camera, moving through my apartment like it was hers. I didn't even need to see more. The moment was so surreal that I just sat there staring at my phone, feeling every emotion at once. Betrayal, disbelief, anger, and, honestly, relief. Relief that I wasn't crazy. Relief that this was it, no more wondering, no more making excuses, no more clinging to a relationship that was clearly rotten at the core. I called him immediately. He didn't pick up. I called again. Nothing. Then I texted him, something short and to the point. Your ex was just in our apartment. I have the footage. Don't bother coming home tonight. 10 minutes later, he finally called back, stammering and tripping over his words. It's not what it looks like, he started. which is honestly the most predictable response of all time. He tried to explain that she had dropped by to pick up something she had left months ago, and that he had forgotten to tell me. Forgotten to tell me she had a key to our apartment, apparently. Forgotten to tell me she felt comfortable enough to waltz in while he wasn't even there. I wasn't having it. You don't accidentally give someone a key to your apartment, and you definitely don't forget about it. You've been lying to me for years, and I'm done. He kept trying to backpedal, but I hung up. I didn't need to hear another word. I didn't need another round of excuses, gaslighting, or convoluted stories. The camera didn't lie, and neither did my gut. For the first time in a long time, I felt absolutely clear about what I needed to do. I went back to the apartment that night with my sister and her husband for backup. I told my, now ex-boyfriend, to pack a bag and leave. He tried to argue, but my sister's husband, who was built like a linebacker, just stood there silently, and my ex wisely decided not to push his luck. He left, swearing up and down that this was a misunderstanding, and that he'd prove it to me someday. Good luck with that, buddy. In the days since, I've been on a roller coaster of emotions. Breaking up after 4 years is hard, even when you know it's the right thing to do. But the overwhelming feeling I've had is freedom. Freedom from constantly second-guessing myself, from walking on eggshells, from feeling like my concerns didn't matter. The long black hairs may have been a small, ridiculous mystery, but they led me to uncover the much bigger truth. This relationship was no longer a safe or healthy place for me. As for the ex-girlfriend, I don't know what their deal was, and I don't care. Whether they were hooking up, reconnecting emotionally, or just being shady friends, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm done with both of them. I've already changed the locks, and I'm in the process of finding a new apartment. Starting fresh feels scary, but also exciting. I'm leaning on my sister, my friends, and myself. And I know that someday, when I'm ready to date again, I'll be a lot better at recognizing the red flags early, whether they're metaphorical or literal strands of hair. So, that's it. That's the end of the black hair saga. Thank you to everyone who followed along, gave advice, or just listened. This has been a wild ride, but I'm finally stepping off. Here's to a future with no gaslighting, no shady exes, and no random hairs in the bathroom. TLDR, the hairs led to the discovery that my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend had a key to our apartment and had been coming over when I wasn't home. I ended the relationship, kicked him out, and am starting fresh. Thanks for the wild ride. Reddit.